Well, welcome everyone. I hope you can see Clayton's, I don't know what he's doing in the background, but here we are.
What is he? Oh my God, what is he doing? He's working. Clayton's here, surprise. There's not like a random man in my apartment.
Wouldn't that be scandalous if Ashton was talking about how Clayton moved and then just in the background there's a scandalous man with no like explanation?
And I edit these videos, so how outrageous would that be for me to literally edit a video and then post it on the internet and be like, yeah, I don't know, Clayton moved out, still dating. Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's so scandalous. I love it.
That's not what's happening. It's him. He's
Let's
here.
be clear. Oh my God. Well, everyone, welcome. We have a lot to talk about because we had our float trip.
It's been a long time.
We need to recap.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're recording and it's Friday and we got back from the float trip Sunday. So if that tells you how much we really just needed to recover before we recorded.
And even after, like on Sunday when we drove back, we're like, oh my God, we have so many stories. Like I was amped to record. And then this week just got away from me. And then I had to rethink. I was telling Clayton last night, I was like, I haven't updated you on like the float trip. And it's still shocking as ever, everything that went down. So,
I mean, it was fun. So like Ashton, well, her friend Molly was supposed to come, but then she got sick. And so Ashton was like, screw it. I'm still coming. Like I brought all my stuff. I'm coming. So I was like, okay, just ride with us. We were like, we'll have plenty of room. This truck was packed down so much. Like it was insane. You would have thought we were gone for a week.
Our dad was trying to give us way too much stuff, like 2 giant tubs of firewood. And we're literally there for a weekend and we have a Blackstone. So we're not really cooking on this fire.
It's just to have. Yeah.
And I think we didn't even use all of the one tub. So I don't know if anyone else's dad is like that.
Yeah, he really overdoes it. And I mean, this was a full F-150 and it's like the super crew. So even the inside is huge. Yeah. And we had that bitch packed down. Like it was full of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very event. Like we were ready to go. And then on the way, this is where we failed. Like we failed the minute we left because we're like, okay, we're ready to go.
We did good.
No. I'm just saying.
No, we didn't.
Like we thought we did good, but like we were like, oh, we'll go pick up Ashton at like 3:00. Let's get Mexican on the way. We have so much time, like blah, blah, blah. And we were Ashton's like, well, like you just said, you were like, I'm not going to start drinking too early because then I'll fall asleep. Sure enough, we all had a large margarita before we left and then had a 2-hour drive. And so it was exciting. And then, that's where I say we messed up because I think like, by us doing that gave us less daylight to put up tents,
Yes.
And so
I think we did it okay because so it was us and we met another couple at Mexican. Yeah. And so we all got there around the same time. So we still had like daylight, like the sun, maybe it was like closer to like 7 p.m. is when we got there. So not quite sunset.
We had like an hour and a half of daylight left. Yeah.
But Taylor and Matt literally got there at dusk. Like the sun's going down and they have a 2,000-piece tent. It's a jigsaw puzzle of a tent, really.
It was like
with multiple rooms.
Stream, like 12-man, like it had different rooms. And it wasn't a basic like crisscross pattern. There was like all these different lengths of like rods that went in it. And the diagram,
no instructions.
The diagram, I'm not kidding.
Oh, there were?
Is like a small Post-it card with like, but from like a weird angle.
Yeah.
And so I think we were all just like, okay, you want to get dinner ready while the boys and Taylor, and I think Taylor was making it worse. Like I think she had been drinking. And so she was like, what about this one? And they eventually were just like, shut up. Enough. We just need somewhere to sleep. Like we just have to, like, we're in survival mode. And go ahead.
Well, me and Shelby were laughing because it's so many pieces going in and we're like, what are they going to do next? Set up like IKEA furniture inside? Like you might as well. At this point.
Oh, that was the best part. It finally gets put up and I was like, okay, like where are your cots or like air mattresses? It was literally like, she was like, this is what we're sleeping on. And it was, I'm not kidding you, like a pool floaty. Like, it was like an inch thick. and you just blew it up, and that was it.
When they got there, I don't know if you heard me, but I saw it like blown up and kind of folded. And I was like, Taylor, you're not supposed to blow up your air mattress until you get it inside the tent. And she was like, shut up. I'm like, I don't know. It'll be comfortable. It'll be comfy.
And we thought, because when they just start messing with the tent, like before everything got like, they were all stressed out. Shelby had bought some Smirnoff ices. So we were like, oh, let's ice them. They were the last ones here.
Did we ice anyone the whole weekend?
We iced them, but then like, I think we forgot it on the river.
I don't even know where it is.
Yeah. So, oh no, it gets better because I put them in the front seats because like, oh, when they grab their bags, they're going to get iced. Okay, well, by the time they found them, they were like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, because they were like, so like pissed off about the tent.
Yeah.
And they were like, who iced us? And I was like, no, I don't know.
It was like that when I moved in.
Well, I found on Saturday, or like, I think it was that next morning, I just put random ices in their stuff. Well, they didn't end up grabbing all of their stuff. So Taylor texted me like 2 days ago and was like, hey, bitch, I found all those ices that you hid in my camping equipment.
So you only iced them. I was like, man, when am I going to get iced this weekend? Never showed up. But also, that's okay. Like
they were like hot and like not cold.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
So
yeah, so that was funny. But yeah, we did good. Like the girls just started making fajitas. We brought the Blackstones. So like we ate really good. We didn't stay up too terribly late. Like I think we were all pretty tired. So
yeah.
But we got up.
Are you gonna talk about Jesse?
Jesse is a friend. So Jesse is he's a friend of a friend that came. And honestly, props to Jesse. He drove from Iowa all the way down to like past Springfield by himself to go on this float
6
trip.
hours.
He was ready to go. He didn't bring anything. He brought himself some swim trunks and a couple of shirts. And the shirt said, what did they say? Something about okayest dick around or something.
2 of them, different colors.
So he was ready to party. Jesse was ready. And so yeah, he was ready to go and he didn't bring anything. And Shale was like, I have an extra air mattress that he blew up on the bed of his truck. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'll just sleep here. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. Just
in the open air. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
And then I guess it deflated. So he just slept on the hard bed of the truck. And you know what? Like God. I was the first one up, like per usual. And he's up like 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Cracks open a beer. He's ready to go. And I'm like, you know what? I like the energy. I'm here for it, you know?
But what else happens on the float trip? So, or like on the actual float. So Peyton is so nice. He will talk to anyone. I think maybe it's just like a guy thing. Do you remember this?
Yeah. Fast friends.
Fast friends. And this Taylor called him a fake male model cowboy, which is pretty
He had like kind of like feathers and some of the hair was like beaded. It was a mullet. Yeah, it was a lot. It was just a lot.
Big cross tattoo, like very fake male model cowboy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so I don't know how I like halfway heard their conversation and I think him. He's like, are you talking about me?
Make some shout outs.
No, get out of here. Okay, so we're on the river and Peyton makes fast friends with this guy, and he was being nice. He was so like, yeah, dude, jump on. Like he said, he liked his group. Yeah.
And he was like, oh, are you from P Hill? Oh yeah, I know so-and-so. And they were like, oh, we loosely know the same people.
Yeah.
Loosely. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like we're friends, but like we all know people from the same area. So it worked out. Yeah. And we're like, yeah, hop on our raft, like whatever. And then it like becomes apparent that this guy like was like drinking beer really fast out of our cooler and like,
yes,
you know, and then once he was like, are we out of beer? Or, you know, I was like, yeah, we're out of Busch Light.
Yep.
And so it was like really ironic that like conveniently within 2 minutes after I told him this, he just disappears.
Well, like, I think we had stopped off on one of like the pseudo beaches and we all of us quickly get on our rafts and that guy, I think he went into the river, threw up and then swam away as if like no one saw him. And so we're like literally paddling as fast as we can to get rid of this guy. And he didn't try that hard. He latched onto another group and we were like, perfect.
And then we start coming up with like, is this guy really alone? Like, is he just like mooching off group to group? Like people do this? Like,
yeah.
I just couldn't believe it. I was like, people are insane. Like, this is wild. We
It
also
would
saw
stress me out.
full families, like with like we saw a 9-month-old baby on a very adult float trip. Like,
Yes. Like when I said it looked like Party Cove on this river, like we
it
saw
was
titties.
wall to wall.
Jesse showed his butthole. Like it was crazy.
Literally, like there was one woman that like she was paddling and holding her beer between her boobs, and I was like, now that's a move. Like, and then
She got it.
here she goes, whips her boobs out, and I'm like, no, like not what we asked, but
No.
cool.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was so funny.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of unsolicited boobs going on.
Yes.
There was a bachelor group that went. They were very nerdy. They went to Office Depot and made a sign that said, "I'm getting married. Show me your boobs." And I'm like, imagine that poor Office Depot worker that was like, sure.
Maybe one of them works at like.
Hopefully. I mean, can you
Something,
imagine the poor high school kid that was like, sure, dude.
Well, and this group, like they looked like the most like quiet, normal, like
Oh, they definitely
little
looked like
group of
they worked,
guys.
yeah, like an IT or like something.
yes. And I'm like, that's really smart to have a sign so you don't have to go out of your way and be like, show me those boobs. Like you just hold up a sign, and it was so
Yeah.
funny.
So
And they said it was pretty efficient. So
yeah, they said so it surprisingly works. And I was like, wow, okay. So was this river a little more wild than the one you guys went on?
yes, I think just because there were so many people.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say it was a little more, and not like I don't even know if we saw families on the last one we went on, but like we ran into weird cigarette arm man, and that was like the craziest thing that happened. Everyone else was like pretty
Yeah.
tame.
I think
No
it's also worth
flashing.
noting Whitey, our friend Matt, like he is the most impressive person with a beer bong I've ever seen. And he
Yeah.
like enjoys it. Like we had one of those, it's called Kong, and it's like
Mhm.
a koozie, but it's also a beer bong. And I just brought it as a joke, like thinking like, haha, like maybe someone will do this. And he was like so excited. He did one right at like 9 a.m., like before we left. And then he started not just doing beer, he was like beer bonging seltzers, which like are
Oof.
gross anyways. And he was just full on like rip. And we were
In
like,
seconds.
he went from like 4 to 5 gulps to like 2 to 3 gulps, like, which is so impressive. Like I was like, dude, like, whoa.
And every time he said, for the troops, beer bong for the troops. And
Yeah,
like
everything was for the
eventually,
troops.
he started saying, hey, should I do one for the troops? Like, guys, not like, do you dare me? But like, should I do it for the troops? And we're like, I mean, it
Yeah,
sounds like
you
you want to
should.
do it. So
You
yeah,
should
do it.
Yeah. At one
And
point we sang
then-
the national anthem. Yeah.
I was gonna say we did sing the entire national anthem, like pretty quick end, just to start the day. It's pretty good.
We did. And there was like 4 of us, like with our hands on our hearts, just like on the little shore, just like,
And I think Matt was like, what's going on? But we were too far in. We couldn't, like, we were already halfway in that.
you can't sing
gotta
half
finish
and
it
not
out.
finish. Like it just finished. We had to finish it. So
Yeah. All in all, great trip. So much fun.
it was great.
Can't wait for next year.
We did. We were already like talking about like, okay, next year I think we should do this. Like we definitely are like upgrading tents for sure. Just like,
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going all in. And we actually were even like, do we book a cabin or do we just
Mhm.
embrace the camping? Because like I'm kind of like, I like the camping. I feel like it's part of the experience. I feel like it's part of roughing it. I think we just own it. I think we got to do it.
Yeah. With the Blackstone made it so much easier. Cause I was like, if we had to like cook little
Hot
hot
dogs?
dogs and burgers on a fire, oof.
I would be like, no. And I know it had that little grate thing, but oh my God, I would be like, no, this sucks.
No, I'm
over
good.
it.
Yeah.
The Blackstone was so worth it. Yeah. So
Awesome.
successful float trip, but I think it's like a once a year thing. I don't think you can do, I mean, you went on 2, obviously, but
Mhm.
we couldn't have the same group and like be like, let's go again and have the same energy. Like, I think it's one of those things that has to
Yes.
be an annual like thing,
Yeah. Yeah. No,
So-
it was so much fun.
But it was a good size. I will say, like, I think float trips, anytime you're around like that 10-person ish is
Mhm.
great. I feel like if you get
Yeah.
bigger, it's like, whoa, there's like too much coordination going on.
yeah.
So, but yeah, all in all, success. Like, really, the only person that threw up was that random man that crashed.
True.
So,
Yeah. No, it was great. Great time.
I loved it.
'Cause it was
I had a
crazy.
story. I
Yeah.
didn't have one, but then this morning we went to this very weird coffee shop. So I was going to talk about it.
Ooh, yeah. We
And
went
so
to a coffee
we-
shop this morning too.
Did you? We went,
Twins.
well, I'm sure yours is way cooler than mine because we just moved, and
Mhm.
so we were like, oh, let's like find a cool local coffee shop, like whatever.
Yeah.
It was a very uncomfortable experience. So we walk in the door and it looks kind of cool from the outside, like the sign's like wood and black, and it looks kind of cool. We're like, oh, this could be kind of cool. And we walk in and there's this like high school age-ish girl that looks like her hair's like a bunch of different colors, and she has like sunglasses on inside, and she's talking to someone like this lady older than her, and she's like
Yeah.
crying, like she's being like a very dramatic like high school kid, like she was just like, I mean,
And
like
she's working there. She's
no,
just like
a
chilling.
person there, like we
Okay.
walk in and it's like tiny.
Yeah.
And we walk in immediately. There's this, I'm guessing it was like a therapist, and she's crying, saying like how like she just has such unfair like standards for me, like talking about her mom, I guess. And me
Okay.
and Peyton were like, okay, should we leave, or like
Can I get a
we, like,
mocha?
like literally, like I think I looked at Peyton and we both were like, should we leave? We can't leave because it's the two people working and then these two emotional
Yeah.
whatever's going on.
Do you
And we
think they were like, can we ask these ladies to leave? Because like they're driving customers away. Like you can't
Like-
cry here.
I mean,
Oh
like,
my God.
it was a very like not like shitting on that, but we were like, what the fuck is going on? And so then we go, to the menu or whatever. Very weird coffee shop. Like it's like they serve like the boba stuff and
Yeah.
also regular coffee. And I don't think they knew what the aesthetic was. Like I think of like the place in general, they just bought random coffee signs at Hobby Lobby and just like put them in random areas. And then like none of the colors matched. It was like
Yeah.
kind of like Asian flair, but also like hipster coffee. And then they had a random, like, this is so weird, but like we end up having to sit down because they take so long, sitting next to the crying girl. And we're just like, okay. Also, their pastries were from Sam's Club, like, because we buy those at home.
Ow.
And they were charging like $5 a piece for them. And we were like, that is like $5 for 12 of them. Like, this is a ripoff.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was like 4 where we sat down. We were just kind of like looking around while we are waiting for our drinks. And they had random, like these large bags of rice, like
Yeah.
just that were supposed to be part of the decoration. But we noticed the bags said Guatemala. And I was like, these aren't even like Asian, if that's like the theme. Like, why are these like from Guatemala?
Okay. Oh my God, that's so funny.
We're like, it was just like they were trying to be trendy, but not. And then like the
Yeah.
boba tea wasn't bad, but like I don't know. I'm just saying the crying girl, like it just really set
The
the, whole mood
ambiance. It
off.
really just
And there was no
the
music
energy.
playing, so all you heard was
that's so awkward. Oh my God.
Oh, and there's only 2 tables, so it was them and us waiting for our coffee.
Oh my God.
And we like literally were just like so uncomfortable. And when we finally got our drinks, we just left. After we were like, we gotta
I
go.
can't.
We gotta get out of here. And we got in the car. Peyton's like, so can we never go back? And I was like, never, ever.
If someone's crying, no, I can't go.
I
that
like
is so
feel
funny.
terrible, but it's like the coffee was average. You served me overpriced Sam's Club muffins, and then like your aesthetic doesn't know what it is, and it's just
Yeah.
and the girl working was rude, and so I was just like, you know what, I'm done. Like
The perfect storm. Oh my God, that's so
please do
funny.
not have my business. So
Oof. But then that, are you liking the apartment?
yeah, I just found the coffee shop I'm not going to again.
Yeah.
So, but it was fine. We
I
have
feel
a
like
good
I
Mexican
tried to
place.
support local, but I couldn't.
I literally, that's what it was. I was like, I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm gonna support local. And then here we are. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
Yeah.
Send me somewhere else.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's too
Yeah.
funny.
I know. So yeah, so that was my only other intro just because it happened this morning. So,
Yeah.
but do we have news? Should we get into it?
I'm really excited for my news this week.
You want me to go first?
So, yeah, you go first.
All right, let me do it. Okay. I honestly solely picked this one because it's from the Huffington Post
Yeah.
and it's in Missouri. So I thought, why not?
Ooh.
Okay. So a lawsuit says Bass Pro won't honor lifetime warranty on socks. Really big headline here.
Ridiculous.
A Missouri man said in his lawsuit that after years of exchanging his Redhead lifetime guarantee all-purpose wool socks, the company has changed its policy. Really, it's just a shame,
Yeah.
So he's filed a class action lawsuit against Bass Pro that the outdoor outfitter is refusing to honor its lifetime warranty on these socks. Kent Slater of Springfield said he spent years exchanging these lifetime guarantee socks. But the Springfield-based company now, they're changing their policy in 2021 that you can't, like, they don't honor it anymore, basically. So now they only offer like a 60-day warranty.
Yeah, they're like, we don't want you to return your crusty, nasty lifetime socks.
And the
That's kind of a weird thing anyway.
The photo is like these crusty socks with toes hanging out of them.
He's like, look at these dogs. You're not gonna let me take care of my dogs.
And it says the last line here says the lawsuit said Bass Pro is misrepresenting the socks in its ads because it says they are the last socks you'll ever need to buy. That's what their original ad said.
How much are these socks? Like, I'm so curious.
That Redhead brand is like their low grade brand. I'm imagining these socks are like $10.
Yeah, buy more socks. Like, it's fine.
And this man is like class action lawsuit. So he's trying to get anyone that purchased these should get some money back because they were misrepresented.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. Stupid. Yeah, right here in Missouri, man. Here we go.
Wow. Missouri's finest.
So really. Yeah, Bass Pro, just so you know, if you're trying to exchange those lifetime warranty socks, you can't do it anymore.
Sorry. Yeah.
But if you're with Kent, feel free. Go find
Kent's gotcha.
Kent's got you guys.
Oh my God.
All right, Ash, what do you have for this week?
Sweet. So I don't know. Did you see my Instagram story the other day?
No, I did not.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It was this honestly hilarious post. Like, so this is not a political podcast. Like, we don't talk about politics for a reason. Like, we just want this to be fun for you guys. And like, I don't care like what you're like, I don't know. I think you can have different beliefs
what
and
your
you can get along.
Platform is like, we don't give a shit. So,
and that's not what we do. So, I think it was Congress recently took a vote about gay marriage. And I had seen this post and it was like, there were a bunch of Republican congressmen that voted against gay marriage. And it was like, this is so interesting. Let's look at what some of these representatives have done, like in their personal life regarding marriage. Some of them were insane. Like, one guy was like, he's been under investigation since 2020 for having relations with a minor and like took her over state lines and like kind of violated sex trafficking laws. And so I'm like, that's just so interesting. So it got me thinking. I love scandal. I love drama. There's no drama in my life, but I think especially politician drama is so interesting because it's
they're so corrupt. Like,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? The drama of it all. So I started doing some research, and specifically let me pull up my notes. And if I say anything wrong, like, sue me, that's fine. So there is a congressman out of North Carolina, Madison Cawthorn. This guy literally has had so many scandals within the last like couple years or so. And my sources are like New York Times, NPR, Washington Post, like very reputable news sources. So this guy, and he's 26, like he's very young, which I didn't realize that. I assumed he's like 32 or something, but like I'm 25.
Oh my gosh, he's younger than me.
He's younger than you, which I'm like, wow. Oh wow, like what a big go-getter, like being like a super young congressman. Well, so over the last couple of years, like I said, lots of scandals. So item number one, he has had multiple sexual misconduct allegations from at least 4 women that he went to college with. It sounds like from the research I saw, it sounds like he was involved in like a student government organization. And these women have come out and been like, yeah, no, ethically, morally, this guy's not quite right.
Oh my God.
Last month, he was, and I quote, he was detained but not charged for attempting to bring a loaded gun through North Carolina airport security. And this was his second attempt in just a year. This happened again at the end of 2021. A loaded gun, Jordan.
Out of that plane. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking?
I literally thought, because then I had to look up. I just assumed, like, if you're in airport security with a loaded gun in your carry-on, like, you're getting tackled. You're going to jail. You're getting tackled. Like, no, apparently, and this is from, I like looked up. I was like, what's the penalty for this? So authorities don't come after me. It's for research. So under federal law, the TSA has the authority to assess civil penalties up to $13,000 for weapon violations. Typically, the first offense for carrying a handgun at a checkpoint is like just under $4,000, which still I'm like, no, like even if it's an accident, like, I don't know.
That's not okay. I feel like that's not okay.
And for it to happen twice. Also, so he did come out afterwards and he was like, oh my gosh, like totally forgot to unload it. Like, that's my bad. I got to own up to it. But I'm like, that mistake, I never noticed. Happening twice. Like, dad travels quite a bit. That has never happened.
Never does that. No.
I don't know anyone that has happened to. So I'm just like, okay, kind of careless. Or weird. Whatever. Okay. Very strange. Also, he has reportedly been stopped and cited for speeding. This has happened so many times. Like, yeah, like you get a couple speeding tickets.
Yeah.
No, last month, this might've been in April. He was charged with driving with a revoked license, which carries a penalty of up to 20 days in jail. I don't know if he actually went to jail, but like a normal person doesn't drive with a revoked license, doesn't get so many speeding tickets.
The fact that he's a congressman and he like doesn't have a license is like very odd to me.
That you're a congressman and you're breaking the law, like while you're I think he's still serving.
That's what I find so strange. And he's 20. Who elected this person? Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't know. And he has just some crazy ideas that even, and there's been so many scandals that even his own party is kind of trying to boot him out. So along with all of those things happening, and this is all happening like within this year that everything is coming to light.
Yeah.
So around the same time that I think he got like caught with driving with a revoked license, photos came out of him like in line, and he's super conservative, like big Republican. Photos came out of him wearing lingerie on like a cruise ship game, which like honestly is just like funny. Like
that is like, funny
or stupid. I don't,
and especially since he's been an idiot, like that's even funnier.
Yeah, like okay, I'm like, yeah, like everyone has done stupid stuff. But the quote that really got me. So when these things came out, he tweeted, I believe in some pretty aggressive government reforms. I want to change the GOP for the better, and I believe in America first. I can understand the establishment attacking those beliefs, but just digging stuff up from my early 20s to smear me is pathetic. He's 26. I'm like last year was his early 20s. I'm confused.
Yeah, like I'm like, dude, it's not like you're like 40 and this was like so long ago. Like you were recently an idiot and now you're in Congress. Like you deserve to be like yes. People to make fun of you.
Come on. I'm like, well, yeah, those photos are just funny, but it's like that along with all the other scandals. And there's other stuff like I'm not even touching on. Like,
and what's this guy's name again? Just so people can do their own like digging.
Madison Cawthorn.
All right.
Yes.
And I'm going to have to do some digging. This guy sounds like a real tool.
No. And there's just like, he just sounds like he went on a like conservative podcast and he had talked about, like, I think the question was, hey, like, is it really like the movies, like working in politics? Like, is it as crazy as you think? Yeah. And he's like, oh my God. Yeah. Like I've been invited to orgies and I've literally watched politicians I looked up to like take a bump of coke in front of me. And of course people are like, that's not true. Why would you say it? And then he had to backtrack and he's like, well, I think I saw someone in like a parking lot one, like 100 feet away. He has lied about getting accepted into certain colleges. One of the stories, like I was obsessed with these articles.
Well, because now you're like, this guy sounds like a tool and people need to know. Like,
yes, I don't know. So I don't know how like the elections work. Like, I don't know if he's still up for like re-election or if he has been booted out already. But yeah, just like such a crazy guy. One of the college acceptance stories that was so funny. So he is paralyzed from the waist down. And I'm like, not talking about that at all. Like that doesn't tragic accident. And so he had said before that because of this accident, he wasn't able to follow his dream. And I think he wanted to like go to, it was either the Army or the Navy, like go to college and play football. And because of that, this accident, he wasn't able to fulfill his dream. He had already been denied from whichever college of those, like, what do you call it?
Like, oh, you like the
Branches.
academies, like
Which academy?
Yeah.
He'd already been denied from
before
like,
the
college
accident
academy
happened.
Before that even happened. So it's like, why are you embellishing? There wasn't
Yeah,
need
like,
to do that.
Well, yeah, like it's like, okay, that now you're just kind of like, I don't know, you're lying. I mean, you are lying. It's like, why lie about that to like improve your sob story? Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, you already have a sob story. Like, why do you feel like you need to like really dramatically, like, you know, get into that? That's so
he's just getting himself into more hot water. And it's just really interesting. Like, look up the articles. Like, they're just very, like, it's just so much drama.
Well, to lie. Like, I see all these politicians doing coke and they're like, who? Well, like, I don't know. Okay.
Normal-minded people don't do those things. Like, normal-minded people don't forget a loaded handgun in their carry-on. When like that's just insane. So that was my weird news.
All right.
If you guys like looking up, and I don't even care what party like these politicians are, like it's just their leaders.
Yes.
And they have all these like crazy paths. So it's just so interesting. But yeah, look up that Instagram post. Let me find who it was by, because it was like I was howling. Like it was so funny.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, I have like a 2-hour drive to the lake, so I will be looking this up.
Yes.
So.
Oh yeah. And the Instagram post that inspired all this was from @MattXIV. Look it up. So funny.
Right on.
But yeah, so that was my news.
I love it.
Hopefully no one's mad at me.
That was really good. I like
honestly, it's just like interesting.
I mean, I don't care what side you're on because, and again, we're not going to talk about what our political views are and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we're not going to talk about that. But at the end of the day, I don't care what side you're on. That's hilarious.
It's
like,
just someone making poor choices, like, and just out of control. And it's like, I think, yeah, we all did dumb stuff when we were like a teenager or like, but we all were smart enough to be like, okay, that's not going on the internet or like,
and we also weren't running for office. Like, let's just put
that
out there.
But anyway, yeah. So that was my news. Look it up. Okay. So funny. I'll try to find some more if you guys like them. I just think it's like interesting talking about political scandals.
I love it. I'm here for it. Okay, so our stories for the week. I have a very good one. I'm very excited for. I've been keeping it in my pocket. It's from a friend that actually used to be my boss, which makes it even funnier. And she listens. So hello, you know who you are.
Amazing.
I won't.
Well, do you want me to go first if you're really excited?
Do you want to?
Yeah, I'll go first because mine.
Since you're like you don't want me to beat yours.
Yeah, no, you always have really good ones.
All right, good.
And I think it makes people listen to the whole episode of like, man, I gotta get to Jordan's story.
All right, yeah, you go.
Yeah. So my story this week, this happens like a month or so ago. And like, I think I've talked about a couple like work from home mishaps before that are just like funny, like whatever.
So this is a personal story.
Yes, in a way.
Right.
So about a month ago, we had like this big team call. Like there's maybe like 50 people on this meeting and someone's giving a training, whatever. And so I'm on the call and I see this person, they're not on my team, but like we're in the same department. I see they join and their camera's on. Like, you know, on Teams, how it's like if someone has their camera on, like they're automatically at the top.
See,
like, everyone can see that person. Everyone else's cameras are off because I'm like, I'm not doing this. But it looks really strange because it's like the camera, it looks like they called in on their phone and the camera was like faced towards the sky. Cause I just like see like the top of a house, blue, like a blue sky. And then I see a dog like go up and sniff the camera. I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. But I bet this person doesn't know so I just Teams them real quick. I'm like, hey, and I know them, but I don't know them super well. Like we're not like really friends. But that's my biggest fear is to accidentally have my camera or my mic on and like not know it. Because I don't know. I do something embarrassing. And so I Teams them and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know, I think your camera's on. And like, I just wasn't sure if you were aware.
Yeah.
They didn't respond until like 10 minutes after the meeting ended. And the camera was on like the whole time. And yeah, just every once in a while, this dog would like sniff the camera and like that was it. And so when they do reply, they said, "Oh my God, I was at the pool in like my swimsuit and I did not know my camera was on." And I am like, oh my God. And I'm like, okay, seriously, don't worry. Like,
I mean, it's funny because like a lot of us have done that, right? Like where we're like, oh, I'll just listen in. I'll like skate off early and listen in and just like leave early or do whatever.
yeah.
But like to have your camera on and be like, oh shit, now they know. It could
Yeah.
be worse though. Like, what if they saw her? You know what I mean?
Yes, that's what, yeah, they were like freaking out about. And I was like, don't worry, like I didn't see anything, like you're totally fine. But like it was just so funny. And they were like, here I was thinking I was gonna get red from the sun, but now I'm just like red from embarrassment. And I'm like, oh my God, you're fine. Like, whatever. I didn't even tell anyone at work. Hopefully no one listens. I'm not gonna say who it is. So if you do listen, I'm not gonna tell you. But yeah, I was just like, that's my biggest fear. And like, so when we first started working from home, me and like the girls that I became friends with, we all had a pact, like a fake pact, but like, hey, like if we're in a meeting and like my camera's on or like my mic's on and I clearly don't know, like I need you to tell me.
Tell me.
You
yeah,
have
you have
to
to
tell
tell me. Yeah.
It's like when someone has like toilet paper on their shoe, like you have to tell them.
Yes.
So yeah.
If my boob falls out, like let me know. You
On
know?
camera, you have to tell me.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I had no idea.
But now I'm thinking, I'm like, did no one else? I mean, what would you rather have? No one besides one person mention it to you, or like a flood? I feel like if we did see them, like her in her swimsuit, I feel like a flood of messages would have gone to her and been like, turn your camera off now.
It just being the sun, like no one probably knew.
It was just like
So.
I was like, I don't think, like, I don't want to be rude. I don't want to step on your toes, but like, your camera's on. I don't think you know that. So
And she was like,
yeah.
oh my God. Well, she's probably grateful though. I mean, you know what I mean? It could be worse. Again, it could have been worse, but always double check. When I join a meeting, I'm like triple checking, like the camera's off. I'll even push this little slider that like
I need to get a slider.
mine's
Clayton
built
makes-
in. Yours isn't built in. Mine's like built into my thing. And it's just
Yeah.
like cover it up.
Clayton makes fun of me because even like if I'm muted on a meeting, I don't trust it. Like I don't trust it at all.
Oh, I
'cause,
double
like,
mute.
Ooh, well, yeah, I'm like double checking.
I
I'm
mute
like,
and then I mute on my headset. It's like a double.
That's what I should do, because I'll be like listening in on like a training or a meeting or something, and Clayton's like, Ashton, like we can talk, we can have a conversation. I'm like, no, we
I'm
can't.
too nervous.
Because I would be mortified if someone was like,
if we were like,
"Hey,
Ashton,
Ashton, can you like pay attention or something? And I'm like,
Oops.
no.
Oops.
So,
oh my God.
yeah.
I like that one. That was funny. You know, make good relationships at work. Like you should have such a good relationship with the people that you work for that you leave and you're friends with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think, you know, that's when like networking is so important and stuff. And it doesn't even have to be this big formal networking thing, but it's like always be a good person. And then like those relationships will help you in the future. Like
And
I can't
never
tell you
burn a
how many-
bridge. Yeah.
Yes, I can't tell you how many times I've been like, hey, like I'm interviewing for this, or like I'll have a question, or we'll just bullshit. Like, you know, we'll send each other TikToks or whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. Don't ever be afraid to like, once you get comfortable in a job, like you can be more like personal with your manager. If you have that relationship, sometimes you have a boss that's very closed off, but like, don't be afraid to open up in some capacity. So
Yeah.
anyways, so I won't say her name because, I actually didn't ask if I could share her name, so I'm not going to, but she
I was gonna
knows.
say,
You
I
know
didn't
who
ask
you
if I
are.
could share this story.
No, she knows. She was like, yes, that's fine. So anyways, you know who you are. Former boss of mine. Okay. So she had been listening to our episode and she texted me and was like talking about how she was laughing. And it was when I told my poopy pants story at work. And she said, I'm LOLing at this week's episode. And she said, I sharted at work once, like at work. And I said, oh my gosh, do tell. And so she said, she basically said I had it easy. Cause this is
because you were just on your way. Yeah.
So she said she worked on the 28th floor of this building, which is important to the story, by the way. She was wearing khaki pants. And like this was all in like this very long conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pick it apart. I should have made notes. But anyway, so she works on the 20th floor. That day at work, she had worn khaki pants and she had a jacket or something on. I'm guessing, I think she was at her desk. Yeah, I think she was at her desk and she sharded. Like she like trusted a toot a little too much and like thought it was gonna be a little one and it, you know. And and she said I had khaki pants on. It was a lot. And she basically tied her jacket around her waist to get out of there.
Because she knew, she's like, this is not a clean situation.
And meanwhile, so she's on the 28th floor. So she has to get in the elevator. And she's like, it kept happening and I'm in the 28th floor. She said, of course, it stopped at every damn floor. Like, and
it was people getting on.
And she has her jacket around her waist. Just, can you imagine the humility? Like, just like the
being like, I know it smells and it's clearly me because I'm the only person.
Smelled like poop. Like, and it was just like, it's so bad. Like the way, like when she was, I remember reading this as she's sending me these and like, I'm just like crying, like, because you can imagine an elevator full of people and you're just like sitting there in your khaki pants, just like, and
oh my God, that's terrible.
Are just like,
so did she like tell her like boss at the time, be like, I'm sick, I have to leave?
She said she left. I'm going to assume she said something.
Yeah, at that point, I guess I would just leave and text my boss or send an email and be like, I have to go.
I imagine she said she's like, I was clamping my cheeks on the elevator for sure. Like on my way to car, she said it gets worse because she like she gets to her car. And she gets to her car, she realized she had to fill up with gas. And so she was like, no. Oh my God. And like at this point, I'm sure she's like, fuck it. Like, you know, so she's filling up her gas tank, getting some more. Like, I can imagine just like the humility. Like she's just like, can it get worse? No.
This is rock bottom, and it's like, no, it's not.
Yeah,
you just wait.
She's sitting in the car while it's filling up, just like sitting and shitting and like.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah,
so it turned out she had the flu. Like she found out she later had the flu, but yeah, she basically gets home, peels everything off, throws it away, gets in the shower.
Yeah,
like, you know, but she was just like, I mean, what are the odds? Like I'm like
khakis.
I wore khakis. I'm on the 20th
oh my God.
floor. I'm shitting in an elevator like with all these strangers. Like, it's just like humiliating.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, because I guess it'd be like, oh, just go like hide in a bathroom, but also like it could be like an hour.
You already did it.
You don't know. And you already did it. You have to leave. Yeah. Oh my God.
Go, dude. Got to get out.
That's terrible. Oh my God. I feel so bad. That's horrible.
I know. She has a really good sense of humor though. So like, I'm sure I'm sure within hours she was like laughing at herself. Like I would be like, this is so funny. Like,
yeah,
I have to tell this. It's so bad.
Oh my God. That's terrible.
Isn't that terrible? I know. So anyways, I mean, I'm going to be cautious the next time I wear khakis to work. I don't know about you.
Oh my gosh. When we were in the office, I don't know why I was just like so paranoid. Even if I wasn't on my period, I was like, what if I just like poop my pants today? Or what if I start my period today and I bleed through? So I would keep an extra pair of jeans that I didn't even really like. I would keep them in my trunk just in case. But also at that point, I think I would just tell my boss, like, I have to go home for.
What are you going to change pants in your car and then come back in? And then
clearly
like,
different.
Why did you change?
I would just go home. Like, I don't know why. I think for like a safety blanket, luckily, like it never happens, but I don't know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God. That's crazy. I cannot.
Yeah. Okay. So just watch yourself when you wear your khakis.
Watch yourself.
I think the name of the episode should be khakis or car keys in a Boston accent. You know, like khakis.
Yeah, we'll workshop it.
Khakis.
Yeah, no, that was good.
I like it. Okay. Well, I think that's all we have for this week. So
yeah, no, that was good.
Don't wear khakis to work today.
Don't wear khakis. Don't bring a loaded gun to the airport.
Make sure your camera's off.
And make sure your camera's off. Perfect.
Yeah. And also, sorry, you can't return those socks to Bass Pro anymore.
Honestly, what a travesty. That was the worst news.
That's the worst news I got all day.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Ashton. And we'll see you next Monday.
You want to say bye, Peyton?
Clayton, do you want to say bye?
Hey, Peyton.